Hello and welcome back to Factorio beltless bot maze. We are back in the main hub, and between episodes I've done a little bit of surgery here. So let's take this train off because that will cause havoc. Oh, try this again. Right, put the arm back. Good. So what I've done here is, for all of these trains bringing materials back to the main hub, they are now requester stations. And I have decommissioned all the trains which were running on fixed schedules. So now this is pulling in trains and therefore materials from the main resource pooling. Just this second, I've switched this over. I'm just waiting for this train to empty. It should be emptying quite soon. I just need it to empty sooner for my own sanity. So that's stuck at, yeah, something. Let's head on down here. My personal train is parked. And what I would like to do is do a research for one of our mods. So the mod I care about is the Inbuilt beacons mod. So we could do efficiency module 3 if we had purple. We may, yeah. But full speed productivity module. I think this is the one we need. Yeah, that unlocks all the other stuff. So let's start that research. And then we'll have a look, because at that point we can start making production chains to make the higher tier machines. And this factory is all sort of working. It's, ooh, missing an inserter. That one. Okay. This is doing research from our buffer of things we crafted a while back when I just left this going and accidentally left a couple of chests uncapped. So we're just running on fumes here, but the fumes, there's quite a lot of the fumes. Yeah, so the Inbuilt Beacons mod, the idea is that you can make higher tiers of assemblers which function as if they had speed modules around them. And in addition to that, you can make zero cost productivity modules that go into those. So it makes them behave as if they are tier 3 assemblers with 8 or 12 beacons with the appropriate number of speed modules and with prod mods. And the first thing I want to do this with is our red circuits, because best will in the world. These need to get up to a lot more than 4K before basically any more research will happen, because all our research is waiting on red circuits to be delivered. So let's wait for this science to finish, and then I'll have to be a bit careful about what science we do after that. We also may need a blue circuit build down here just to keep things moving. Okay, so that's got us full C productivity modules. Okay, which apparently we craft just like normal productivity modules. So currently we have quite a lot of prod mod crafting happening here. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. Okay. So let's get all this disabled. This is a bit of a mistake. Yeah, so we have quite a lot of productivity modules. They're going to get dumped into research, I think. Then we have these machines making speed modules, but they're being consumed as fast as they are made and sent off over here. All right, so let's zoom out and go back to the red circuit build. So the problem with the red circuit build is that it is capped on speed by the copper smelting. So what we need to do is come up with a way to make the copper faster to keep this build running full time. And for that, we're going to use the enhanced electric furnaces, which are beaconed electric furnace with speed module 1s and an electric furnace. So that's what we're going to try and make. Now, it so happens that we have quite a big backlog of electric furnaces from a bit of a mistake I made earlier. So I'm going to set up an electric furnace maker here for completeness sake. But it's going to be wired basically to not run. So I'm going to put in a requester chest here. We're going to wire this furnace to there and set this arm enable when electric furnaces is less than 10. Good. I hope that's the right size. Then we'll put this here. This is going to be the built-in beacon electric furnace. Okay, so that will go there. Request in things. Put down a light because we have discovered that lights are useful. And let's see if this can get made. So what is the problem here? We have no beacons. Okay, so I need a beacon making setup. And I've got a feeling we're going to need lots of this. So I'm going to make a double-sized beacon build. These are kind of in the wrong place now. I'm trying to keep the build neat, but I don't know if that's going to happen in practice. All right. So if this makes beacons, we've got all that stuff, I think, except possibly the copper coil. Okay. Somewhere with a bit more room. So if this makes copper coil, and this makes beacons, we have plenty of copper coil. So I can put down a second beacon machine. Right, then we can feed down and down. And do I want these to share chests? I kind of do. Right, that's a provider. Let's not be too fancy. Right, so we have a provider chest there. Provider chest. Two requester chests. I'm going to cap the provider chests off at 1 stack because we're not going to be building up a big backlog of beacons. Not like in the vanilla game. We're going to be, in fact, if I make... Yeah, I've got a feeling I'm going to need a lot of beacons quite soon. So let's make this a bigger... Alright, so then we can use red arms. Like that. Then this doesn't fit. Alright, let's cut that. Make it down here. Does that fit? Yeah, it does. Except I got... Did I get the ghosts around the wrong... Yeah, I did. I got the ghosts around the wrong way. That was ridiculous. Let's fix that. There we go. We can power this up. Add a couple of lights. Because as I said, I've been converted to the way of lights. This needs an input. Good. Let's see something come in here. Awesome. Then these need inputs. And I'm aware I'm running 2 machines off 1 box, and the request size is capped to 30 seconds to run 1 machine. Not really a big deal. Right, these take how long to run? So what's keeping them? Okay, so it's the supply of circuits. Yeah, so it's purely the supply of circuits that's keeping this going. I'm going to replace these with stack inserters, which I then make long. Right, there. If I click on this, does it? Yeah, it does the right thing. That's good. All right, so that should speed up feeding it as and when the materials are available. There are loads of red circuits around, so I don't know what the holdup is. Oh, maybe there aren't loads of red circuits around. Maybe we're at our red circuit production limit. Okay. It's kind of ironic. I would have liked to be bringing in a whole train of red circuits. Okay, so this train here now has nothing in it, so we can retire the train. Good. And now this is totally ready for... That's now totally ready to be dealt with Train Supply Manager. So these are running slow. What is the reason? Plastic. Okay, and why is plastic slow? Not getting enough petroleum. Okay, we're running not many of these, and they're running the... Okay. Does that help? No, it really doesn't. Okay, so we're going to have to upgrade this to advanced oil processing. Let's go all the way down. I can't mix fluids because, thank you. I was hoping to never need to upgrade these. All right, there we go. So that's dealt with the input. We need a water line. Let's try this again. Good, and I'll stick a water pipe down at the bottom. Water pump, sorry. There we go. All right, then we got issues with the outputs because I never thought about how to do this. So okay, we may end up using some fancy pipes to make this work. All right. Oh, this really is a mess, isn't it? I'm gonna have to move all this, I think. Right, let's just get it done, and then we can come back later and try and demangle it. Good. All right, so that's sort of in. the whole of this can be cut. Let's move it out. That's as good a place as any, I think. There. Okay, and then the whole sulfur thing needs to move. And I don't know where the best place for that is. Will that fit here? Yeah, it will. So we'll put sulfur there. Okay, and then the water is going to have to come in from here somehow. No, that doesn't work, obviously. Right, how else can we do this? I don't want to bring the pipe down this side because it's already too tangled. There, I can't bring it up. Okay. This box doesn't actually need to be here. That gives me... a little more. Alright, so that's got water, residual petroleum. This is a hideous build. I'm not pretending otherwise. Alright, so then we have... this water pump can go. Good. So this arrangement here. Okay. And it's not particularly friendly with the last one because we have this petroleum situation going on. Okay. So what's a better way to do this? Oh, I could craft an elbow. There we go. Okay, that all appears to be correct. Good lord, that's nasty. Alright, so out to here, and then we can just run a rail across as before. Good. There's not a lot of petroleum left, apparently. Then... I'll need some chemical plants to do some crack. Oh, I've got 20 other things, that's fine. Alright, so... I probably only need... two heavy oil cracking machines. Let's just put it down and double check where the ports are. There. Alright, what's the best way? Probably... I'll have to bring another water pipe up at some point. But I think if we put them like that... No, then there's no room for water. There we go. So this can be heavy cracking. We will just plug that directly there and there. There we go. A power pole and a lamp. I'm going to run up this with lamps as well. Good. This isn't really what I had in mind, but never mind. Firefighting is the best kind of fighting. Right, and then I need to bring this back. And we can use another corner pipe to bond that in. Good, so this is now cracking heavy oil. The light oil is now, oh, it will be when we add water. Somehow. I've got a feeling I built this too close. All right. So I need this to be in here somehow. Right, so it's voluntary where I put this. And it's voluntary where I put this. And I've gone and stuck them in exactly the wrong place. So I think... I'm just trying to remember how this build works and which bits I can clip off it. Because if I can gain a tile here, then we're okay. On the other hand, gaining a tile seems like a bit of a fool's errand, doesn't it? Let's grab that. Okay. And where else can it go around here? So, do we have a gap here? And what is this pipe? Okay, that's obsolete. So, that fits that way round. This is heading towards epic proportions of yuck. Okay, and we have a RoboPort issue. There. This may continue to be an issue because now I need to move this build. Okay, so let's grab that much of this, move it over one. That's better. All right, so now we can stick a pump, water pump in there. And the water pumps are eluding me. There. All right, so this should now be good. I'll figure that out in a second. In fact, this whole build could go up, so it's within existing robo range. There. Good. Okay. This is light, heavy to light cracking. And what I really want is I guess it doesn't really matter. It's all going to be positive pressure because we're not doing complicated, like we're not making lubricant or anything else where you have to balance products. All right, so the next job is the light cracking. For that, I'd like to use the same water. because we're not going to hit pipe throughput requirements. Good. So this bit we can not reuse. Do I want to use a fancy pipe? Well, we have them, so why not? Okay. Now, how many of these am I going to need? So I've got six of these, so I think I'm probably going to need 4 or 5 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fits in almost as if it was ordained. Great. So let's take that. Okay, and then this one lines up. And my own personal bots, do I have any? Yeah, I do. So why are they not building this? No idea. All right, so then the next job is to bring in the light oil. There we go. And then lastly, we need to bond the petroleum back in. So I just need to find a place where something lines up, where I can jump back. Ah, there's not a single place. Okay. I was hoping that one of these would line up, but doesn't. All right, so. So is that everything? Let's check all the pipes. This has no petroleum. All right. Crude oil, 0. There is 0 crude oil. And this is requesting oil. There is no train on the way. Did I get this set up wrong? Right, let's have a look at the right, so there's no train in empty crude. There is a train in full crude. Okay, so that's waiting on condition. So maybe I forgot to set up a schedule. So let's set up a sourcing priority. Crude full. That exists. Yep, so that exists. So did I set the scheduling up wrong here? Priority scheme crude full. Okay. So this is supposed to be outputting T. It is outputting 1 T. This says there's a train on the way. But there is no train. Okay, so I think this is one of those things where Train Supply Manager has just got itself a bit confused. Let's paste that in. Okay, so now there's a train on the way. So I've had this a couple of times where pacing down requester stops, it has marked it as incoming train, even though there is no incoming train, which is sad. Cool. So in a moment, a train should arrive. start unloading fuel, and this should all kick into gear, and then we can... There it is. There's the train. Since this is train supply manager, we don't need to be fueling them, so I'm just going to get rid of all the refueling on all of these. So I don't want that, because I want all my trains to be on solid fuel. I don't want coal to be injected into them and then for them to run low. And there we go. Yeah, see, it's filled up with some coal. It really shouldn't have. Okay, so this is now... Is it doing any better? We have... I'm not sure it's doing better. So... That's fine then. So it's... it's not getting heavy oil. There we are. Now the heavy oil is being cracked. That's it. All the lights have gone green. Sort of. The only other thing I can do is add a couple of tanks just to buffer things up. So I'm going to buffer heavy and light oil. Great. So we'll put a heavy oil buffer here. And a light oil buffer here. So it's just to make sure that everything keeps moving. The buffers should ideally never fill, but I just don't want temporary surges in pipes and things to overflow the system. Right, so these are now running at full speed, and these are running at full speed. So I think we have everything going. Good. So that should help with our plastic production, which should help with our red circuit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red circuit builds and only 4 plastic builds. That's not going to be too healthy. You need... So I think I'm going to throw down another pair of these just for the sake of it. Good. And we'll see if we can keep that plastic going. Well, we're certainly keeping 5 of them. 6. Not bad, is it? Can I put another 2 builds in? No, that tramples our petroleum supply, but we can move the petroleum supply. Oh, I'm full of... My inventory is full again. Right, what can I get rid of? I seem to just collect random junk. Can't think why that is. Alright, so if we bring in the petroleum here instead. There we go. Then there's room for another 2 plastic machines. I would need to move this signal. That's it. I think we'll call that a day. We have green lights on all the red circuit machines now, so that's good. Okay, and this, what is this waiting on? Okay, it's waiting on beacons, and the beacons are waiting on red circuits. Great. Speed modules are running. They're waiting on red circuits also. Can I put down another red circuit build? Do I see plastic in each of the requesters? I do, so I think I'm going to throw down 1 more of these. Somewhere. Good. Actually, let's not do that. Let's upgrade them to tier 3 assemblers. That's probably a better use of resources. Okay. I'm doing it by hand. I know I probably shouldn't, but I don't really want to swipe an upgrade planner across this mess. Great, that should have sped up our production of plastic in this area, and then of red circuits in this area. So, up we come. This has made some beaconed furnaces. We are going to put these into a requester, into a provider, sorry. We're going to make one stack. I think one stack's going to be enough for now. Right, and then let's grab what we have of this to have a look, because I've never used these before. So this is a beaconed electric assembler, and it can take modules. Okay, I think it takes special modules. Yeah, so I can't use prod mods. I have to use special modules. Okay, so full speed prod mods. So they're the same recipe. Okay, gives half the productivity bonus of prod module 1, but without the speed penalty, produced in pairs. Let's give it a go. So this seems, I don't think we need this build at all now. Right, so this, yeah, this is all going to go horribly wrong. Let's just deconstruct this. It looks like a mistake. We can deconstruct this one. There we go. These are all the backlog of prod mods that I made by accident. This can go because we're now making... let's keep one electric furnace maker. Alright. So. Full speed prod mods. Actually, let's just take this away as well. If we ever run out of standard electric furnaces, oh no, I've got a machine there that makes them. So it's not going to be a problem. Good. So I basically want to copy this. Okay. We've got quite a drawer on our red circuit production now. But this is what we're trying to fix. So let's see if this gets through a whole cycle without hitting some kind of productivity limits. So I'm seeing if it gets enough red circuits in time for the next craft. If it is, we'll put speed beacons in it. Yep. Good. So we have some of these. So my inventory is full again. What's going on here? All right. So Let's put down a normal electric furnace. This needs a recipe. Great. So I want these to be... where did that go? There. Alright. So I'll have to put something in them. Let's put in copper, because that's the one we care about. Right. So this machine here produces 37.5 items a minute. This produces 125 items a minute. So that's substantially better. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we're going to upgrade the red circuit copper furnaces to use these. Alright, and I really need to do something about this inventory. Alright, so what have I got? I'm requesting in... Alright, let's set this down to 100. And the same for green circuits. Oh. There we go. That will stop them overflowing into 2 stacks. There we go. What else? Steel. Good. That's freed up some slots. Pipes. Yeah, I really don't need more than 50. Same with tanks. Just a lot of these things I need some for design and build, but the factory puts down the big replicates of them. Okay. So I have 6 of these now. How many do I have in total? 9. So 9 is enough to test our... 9 is enough to test it out on the red circuit build. So let's go do that. I'm quite excited by this. This is the first time we'll have been using this mod properly. And it's really what I had in mind for this playthrough. Okay, so let's head off to here. And you have to fiddle around with that to make sure it doesn't do anything stupid. All right, so all of our builds, I think, are backed up except for... So this is all running. We have 872. That's pretty good. The green build. Oh, we're filling up a train with green. That's our first green train. That's pretty cool. Hopefully the military will be here soon. This hasn't crafted anything yet because it's waiting on red circuits. Okay, and that's what we're trying to fix now. The site's got quite big. We'll see. So as soon as we've got red circuits floating around, I'll have a go at finishing off the productivity... Sorry, is it production science? The purple science. Then we can tick that one off the list. Oh, the other thing I did between episodes is I went round with tier 3 assemblers and just dropped those down for the science machines. I think every single build, I didn't have to modify anything else for that. But I may have to go back and double check with a calculator or something. All right. So the problem is these guys. So let's put down... that. And then let's fill them up with prod mods. In fact, without the speed modules, just the prod mods. Great. So can this keep up now? Ideally what I want to see is something backing up somewhere. And I'd like to take these out. I want to see if this keeps going without any modules in here. And then I'm going to have a look at what happens if I add prop mods to here. So I think we have green lights. Let's put those in there. Okay. If I put prop mod in there, does that work? And in there. Okay. What happens? So let's do this all the way across, because I'm a big fan of using prop mods if you can, particularly for these kind of parts of the build. And we're going to, at this stage, be really careful about which modules we use at which part to keep everything working. Then what I'm going to do, once we've got a design we like, is rip up all the designs and put them all down. So let's get some tier 3 assemblers. And can they keep going? They can. Now, I can't really afford to prop mod these because it would slow them down. But I think this is build, isn't it? Ah, these are now browning out on copper coil. Okay. Can we fix that by speeding up the coil machines? Yes, we can. Okay, let's have a look at this. So this is stalling. Ah, that was stalling. All right. Let's give this a moment to rattle through. Okay, so these are all stalling. I'm guessing... Oh, that's backed up. And this is waiting on green circuits. Okay. Let's take these out. Let's see if that fixes this. So this is waiting on iron. Okay, let's see what this looks like with extra modules. Does this all work now? Good. And is this backing up? Or is it running at full speed? This is running at full speed. This is running slightly behind. Okay, so I think empirically we've found the perfect build. So I need... Is that... Yeah, that's all lined up wrong. Let's try again. And my inventory is mad because if I go to logistics, I didn't cap my iron plate. Good. And so we can go back through and add the prop mods to these. All right, so let's have a look at this. This should be producing 100 red circuits a minute. Okay, and this in practice is producing half of 60, so it's producing 30. So we've gone from 30 a minute to 100 a minute, give or take. Okay, these are still stalling. Okay, it's stalling on green circuits because of copper. Okay, so I think let's take out let this all rattle through for a moment. Okay, that's good. So, what's the best way to do these upgrades? I obviously... So this requires 8 of the new furnaces. Right, so I want to cap these at 1 stack. I'm going to take the fancy furnaces and request 50. Good, and the fancy modules. Good. So that should be enough to then come back and upgrade all this stuff. So one of these is a parts list. Because it's an entirely new build. So 32 modules, 16, 8, 4. That should be easy to remember, shouldn't it? But I'll put it down here as a blueprint, just in case. All right, this train's unhappy. Okay, let's stop this. We'll head back to Gallifrey. I'm not keen to put the new modules and beacons and things into logistics yet, because I'm not really sure how well or how quickly we're going to be able to craft them. Right, off we go. So the red circuit build is really holding up everything at the moment. I can't really get the whole direct insert science chain going until red circuits are being produced at an acceptable rate. All right, so let's head off down here and have a look. Have we managed to... Yes, we managed to deliver green science to one of these builds. Presumably green science will come to the other build soon because I've got 2 green science makers here. These must be getting quite... Oh, 409. That looks like it's been recently emptied. So this is... Oh, it's filling with slow inserters. All right, we can fix that. How embarrassing. Let's fix that here as well. Whoops, that's trying to upgrade machines. I really don't want to do that. All right, we're just waiting here at the big park. It's a sign of how much the factory isn't working that we've got lots of ore trains parked. Where exactly am I headed? Oh, I needed fuel. So this is the beauty of having our Gallifrey station set up as a train supply manager station. Because when I pull in there and my fuel is low, it schedules me to fill up fuel. And then I don't forget, and then we don't run out of fuel in the middle of nowhere, and life is much better. Let's have a look where I'm being attacked. Here. That's starting to look like quite a big pile up. Kills here, 178, 200 and something, 179, 200, 170, 150, and then it falls off. Okay, so we're going to have... Oh, right. I think they're expanding. And again, they're expanding here to fill the available space. Yeah, we're getting some deaths here. Wow. 982 deaths. Good. So let's have a look at how well these next tier builds are doing. Products finished. 18. Okay. So that's not going to get us very far. We need 8 per build, don't we? Let's double check here. Yeah, we need 8 per build. We've got 18, so that's enough for 2 of them. I have 4 in total and I've done 1. So, so at 24 we're ready to go. Then this requires 32 of the modules, so I'll need 3 lots of that, so that's 96. So 100 would do me. I've got 100, that's good. Got plenty of those, and I've got plenty of these. So I think we're good to go as soon as this is built. And this is waiting on beacons. What are beacons waiting on? Green circuits of all things. Okay. So let's do the normal Factorio thing and double the size of our build. Oh, this is a really old-fashioned green circuit build. Let's grab it. Move it down here and to somewhere sensible. Ah, here's a newer one. So first of all, let's upgrade this to faster machines. Good. Then I'm going to retire these 2 builds up here. Like that and that. Good. Yeah, they really are old, those ones. And then I am going to duplicate this build somewhere. I'm guessing it won't quite... Oh, will it? Yes, it will fit in the old place. Well, there we are. Brilliant. It's tempting to do this with some nice beaconed builds, but it's really not worth it. Really not worth it. So this is all held up with green circuits. That's all working at full speed. Are we now better for greens? Not sure. Alright, so can I copy this half build and put another half build in there? I can. I was probably supposed to overlap these boxes. Never mind. Okay, do I have what I need now? I only have 11 of these. And this... Yeah, it's purely the beacons. Okay, let's see if this picks up. If it doesn't, I'm just going to continue spamming down green circuit builds until the green circuit builds aren't... Ah, green circuit builds aren't running. No, the copper builds aren't. So we've maxed out our copper smelting. Alright, so this is our legacy copper smelter. And I'm in two minds about whether to replace this with a nice beaconed, to burn some of our beacon smelters to make copper to make beaconed smelters. Well, I think that's not really required yet. Alright, let's have a look up here. So this is the new build. Okay, these at 5.4K rather than 5.2. These aren't. These are working at different speeds. Oh, because I had an accident with. Yeah, I had an accident with only the first one running. I'm going to have to go and fix that as well. Otherwise, very bad things will happen. Right, how many of these do I have? 13. So that's enough to upgrade 2 of the builds. Alright. So I'm going to balance out those boxes, because otherwise... let's go to there. Yeah, so let's explain. The train-based builds are all through and through, so that the materials from carriage 1 that are taken in and used for crafting end up filling up carriage 1 of the train carrying away the product. I botched the builds for red circuits and accidentally set them up so that the first carriage only was crafting because I missed out some wires. So that means now we have a slight surplus of product in carriage 1, in the box for carriage 1. The problem with that is only carriage 1 is wired to the logic calling in trains. Rather than wiring in all the boxes, I just wire in the first one. So that means a train will be called in early before the other carriages can be filled. Now, because then all the other builds downstream are not load balanced, they would then all call in. They would then all end up with an unbalanced build. And so it would go on down the chain. So I really need to make sure that there are not more in here than here. Okay, so this is 2 stacks from the end. And this is... Okay, so that's probably enough. So 140... Actually, let's do it slightly too much. Alright. And then we'll do the same sort of thing down here. So this has 3 empty slots. 1, 2, 3. And any difference here will probably make up in train travel time. This has 3 empty slots. There we are. Four. There we are. That's it. So this should all work out now. And then those stacks of reds I picked up will go into the war chest for crafting beacons and things. Alright, so let's remember this build. So we have a blueprint of it. Let's check it's the current one. Yep, brilliant. Right, let's take the whole thing out. We will let the house bots clear it. How long is it going to take for the house bots to clear? Let's have a look. I want to see a swarm of bots headed in this way. I think this must be the construction bots. This is all Logibots clearing up the red chips from in my inventory. So the hope is that when this is cleared, I can stamp this down and then my robots take over. Good. Maybe things didn't work earlier because I hadn't got my personal bots turned on. That would explain it, wouldn't it? And I shouldn't have really done that till it was cleared. Alright, so let's clear out this one also. It's obviously going to take a little while for the house bots to come along and do their job. This is probably another thing where we're going to accidentally have a bit of imbalance in the build because I got impatient, basically. Good. And then the rest of it can be put down by the locals because all the other materials they have. I do like the look of the new furnaces. They're a nice sort of collection of colours. Okay. So this should have massively improved our red circuit production. There you are. That build's done. Let's get this one done. I'm going to let it get picked up first. So what are my plans for this series? So initially I just want to get all 6 basic sciences up and running on this style of build. And then a rocket launched. But once that is done, I'd quite like to see how far I can push this style of build and using the inbuilt beacon machines to make really compact direct insert builds, which kind of push this paradigm as far as I can take it. Right, is this lined up correctly? Which way round does it go? Let's double check. Okay. There. So I've only got one roboport. I do really limited range builds. That's on purpose. Okay. So that's not ideal. Let's take that out. We are missing furnaces. We may have crafted them by now. So let's delete this. Good. Then I'm going to turn my bots off. I'm going to head back, see if we've got more things made. Right, so I'm going to keep this temporary stock because I want to come back here. I'm wondering about upgrading to rocket fuel just because the distances are so far. The issue with rocket fuel is it doesn't actually have the same burn capacity as solid fuel. So a stack of 50 solid fuel has more joules in it than a stack of 10 rocket fuel. And I'm a little bit worried that on this map, because the distances are getting larger, that things will run out of fuel. It might be a silly thought, but for now I'm working with solid fuel even though the trains travel slower, just because the refueling is less frequent. And I'm feeling dizzy. Are there any trains in the empty, which I would expect to be in the full. All right, so I'm not surprised that probmots are here because we've got a red circuit shortage. I'm not surprised about red circuits. Ammo, that's crafting. I'm guessing it's recently dropped off. Yeah, it's dropped off here recently. So that's why that's there. Rail. Okay, so we made rail builds and I had trouble getting them to actually work. This is calling in steel and not getting any. And this has never had steel. So I'm going to have to go over to the steel build and try and work out why that is. Because this has got steel. It's ready to serve steel, but no train is coming in. So that's a thing we need to desnag in a minute. Not until after, though, I've fixed the red circuit build. So what's going on here? No, I said to go here. Oh, for Pete's sake. You're kidding me. Right. We really need a better solution for these temporary stops. I know that one wasn't a temporary stop, but seriously. Oil all seems to be working, which is good. Sulfur's backed up because we're not doing the science which consumes it. This is looking good. Okay, so I am here now. And do I have these furnaces? So I've got all the I've got all the modules, sorry. Right, I have 0 on the way, but I have 13. Which is hopefully enough to get this finished. Right, so 14, so 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 11, so it's 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, we can just about do it. Good. And then once we've done this, I'm going to have a look at the rail build and try and figure out why that's gone wrong. So after we've gone there, we're going to go to here. Good. That way I can't forget. So in other news, I'm still working from home. It looks like I'm going to be doing this for a while. Months. Maybe even until the new year. The university is going to prioritise people coming in who have to be in to do their job. So it looks like people like me who work on computers may not need to be on site until a lot later than other people. So they're going to prioritise things like wet lab staff, people who have direct face-to-face stuff they have to do, which isn't many people, to be honest. People who have end of years coming up for their PhDs or projects and they have to be on site for that. All right, let's put these down. Good. And then we've got a build down here, which I think we can build. Good, that was the bit I was worried about. So we should now have a fair... this is not running because I cut out the inserters to make sure that it wouldn't run ahead and unbalance. Okay, so put those back in. Okay, and my bots aren't building them because they're already in flight. And let's have a look here. How are we doing? Okay, we are proceeding, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Okay, these are back up to 3 of 4 rows. And I could probably depress myself by asking exactly how long it's going to take for these builds to build, but I'm not going to do that because it would depress me. But what we can do while we're here is zhuzh these up a bit with lights. So let's head on down to the bottom because I can then take a blueprint and stamp it across. Okay, so where can we put lights to make this look fabulous? I think there. There. And there. Awesome. So I can just take a blueprint of the middle of this, stamp it down. Stamp it down. Stamp it down. And then there should be lights being flown in by construction bots for the rest of it. So, is this the whole thing built? I just want to check once more, in case I've missed something. This is all building, this is all building. This is, and that's the bottom. These are all green, so they're all running at full speed, which is a massive improvement. So they're not just running at full speed, but they're also the higher tier assembler. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so yes. So I can now... Whoops. I got in the wrong train. How rude. So I can now remove this temporary stop. And we can go and have a look at rails and try and understand what's going wrong there. So it tends to be silly things like I haven't set up a train with a schedule, or I forgot to put it into automatic mode, or I never set the schedule for those things, or I forgot how high they stacked, or it's just silly mistakes which, you know, you make, don't you? But shouldn't. Okay, so we've got 2 builds we're just passing here for production science, both of which require red circuits, so they're not running currently. Good, so this is supposed to be calling in steel. When steel is less than 800, except I've got a feeling steel stacks to 100, doesn't it? So this should be when steel is less than 400. Okay, let's double check. I want to make sure things are consistent. When steel is less than 400. Okay, and this is activated on U, and it's set up for steel and a carriage full. Okay, so this wasn't set correctly. So I will now be having a steel train coming in. Then this here, this should be active to pick up. Okay, so this has a train incoming, but there is no train incoming. So the way I'm going to fix this is Control C to take a blueprint. This has a priority schema, which is rail assembler. Okay, so there is no incoming train on rail assembler. All right, and this is set up. for rail assembler. Of course, this hasn't crafted anything. So this should be, this is full. So we have 4,000 rail. This is set up for 40,000. Okay. That's now set up for 4,000. So we should be good now. And I'm going to tempt fate by going away. Before we do that, though, let's have a think about where production science could actually be made. So we're making the rail here. We're making the modules here. We need to make furnaces. That's our next build. Okay, so this is filling up with rail. No, it's not. Okay, so back to there. Luckily this is entirely full of loops, so getting back to where we wanted to go is not a problem. And the problem there was that the inserter for filling up the rail was not active. And there's a couple of reasons why that could have been. Most likely I missed a wire. I didn't really want to be shipping rails around, but the mass turned out to look like it really wasn't going to work very well for direct insert. Okay, so this is getting steel. This is now crafting. Brilliant. This is one of the weirdest builds I have ever done. So in you go. So this is set up to bring in a rail, and then we need a wire that goes down from that combinator to here. All right. Okay, so now this is wired in. So it's calling in a train for rail. It's requesting a train for rail. That's connected in. All right, so I think this one is correct. And we now have an empty rail train sat in a full rail park. Okay, so this... Let's just send it back to empty rail. Okay, and I'm going to watch its schedule to see if it gets sorted out. It's currently parked on the roundabout of hell. It seems to be quite far back in the priority of things. Doesn't seem to be moving at all. Okay, nearly made some progress. And off we go. So the roundabout of hell there, I had to put lots of chain signals on, and that means the trains just all wait their turn. All right, so this is going back to empty. So it should be supplied with a schedule. It's now got one. Good. So now it's going to go to rail 2. And let's see if it actually does the job properly. Autosave is starting to take a little bit longer to save. Understandable. So I'm loath to do a lot more research until we get all of the potions set up here, but that may be quite a while. So I don't know. Not sure what the right way to go here is. All right, so this is now filling up. Oh, it is filling. Okay. So let's have a look properly at what's going on here. I'm just checking that all of the wagons are filling, and they are. So this train is filling up quite nicely with rail. This is building. This is building. Yeah, it's all good, isn't it? All right, so what's the next thing? The next thing would be electric furnaces, because we've got prod mods up here. But I'm really loath to do that until I've seen some red circuits built. So what's the next thing? The next thing is probably to have a bit of a think about defense. So let's head back home and have a bit more of a think about defense. So I'm playing with biters on. Now that's not because I particularly care about combat. In fact, I don't care about combat. But if I did not have biters, I would just expand out into the maze in all directions. Having them forces me to use the space I have. So I'm going to leave them on for now. I may turn them off at some point. You can see this is our pollution cloud, which is extensive. And it's going to get worse. Now, over here, I can continue to clear the maze further, if I want to cover our pollution cloud as it is currently. I could clear out this area here. We start to fall into trouble here. So if you look, this is a dead end. Up here, that's a dead end. This is a dead end, dead end, dead end. So something must happen around here somehow. And the only way to get there is to go up here. Presumably that joins up. Maybe it goes across there and down if I'm lucky, but it might not. So it's going to be quite a job to clear all that. And yeah, I don't know if I can be bothered, to be honest. That's the long and short of it. Right, how are we doing for all this stuff? So I have another 15 of the fun furnaces. We have copper being smelted at full speed. Beacons are not being made at full speed. They are out of something, presumably. Red circuits. Okay. And red circuits are low on copper. Okay. So the temptation is to put down loads more copper smelting. I don't know if that's the sensible thing, but it's the obvious simple thing. Down here I'm going to run into trouble because of logistics coverage. This is all a bit far. Alright, looks like I'm going to fill in this area here. And my inventory is full again. Alright, so let's have a look at what else I can cap. Good. I really don't need the car anymore. Trains can go for now. All the turrets can be kicked out. Great. Let's go up and have a look at the beaconed assembly machines. So this is tier 3 machines. And we're going to be using those for a while. However, we've unlocked new shiny tech, so we should have a look at it. So this is built-in beacons, assembly machine 3.1, as if it had 12 speed 1 module beacons around it. Okay. So this is going to go out to a passive provider. I'm going to cap this at 1 stack. Okay, and this is low on beacons, to be expected, really. Right. Where are these being pulled across from here? Right, we need to reset these. This is ridiculous. 10 is fine. And 900 is, again, stupid. 50 and 20. Yeah. So let's see if the numbers on the smelters were stupid as well. Yeah, they were. So let's take that at 20. And that down to 100. Okay. That'll do. Good. And just out of curiosity, let's have a look at this. So this is 6.1k. Good, so we're now onto our final row, because 8k is when we can call in a train. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there, because it's just going to be a case of waiting now for the red circuits to be built before it's really worth doing anything else. And that's kind of boring. So I'm going to wait, sat at the computer, so you don't have to. And next time we will hopefully have some red circuits coming in and have a think about a furnace build and a purple science build. They should both be fairly straightforward, fairly quick. I think they're all pre-assembled components. So until then, thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I really enjoy doing these longer episodes. I know they're not for everybody, but at the moment, I don't really have the time to schedule recording a lot of short episodes and then uploading them individually. So this works much better for me. Anyway, I will see you again soon. Enjoy, stay safe. Bye-bye.